Kim. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our regular public council meeting for Monday, June 15th, 2026. Here at the town of Torbay. First off, new business, Councillor Manning.
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Whitten.
Pass.
Councillor Goss.
Thank you.
Councillor Martin.
Pass.
Deputy Mayor.
Nothing, thanks.
And I got it. Thanks. All right, is there anybody here that wants to get on the first Q&A session? Robbie? Anyone else? That's it? Okay. All righty, could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please?
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. So we have, first thing is a regular public council minutes from May 25th, 2026. Can I get a motion to adopt those, please?
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded, any errors or omissions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Conflict of interest, there's a sheet that went around there with about 5 items on it. And as per normal practice, at the time the item is coming up, declare your conflict and we will deal with it at that point. All right, proclamations. We have 2 proclamations this evening. One for Canadian Multiculturalism Day. Councillor Witt.
Canadian Multiculturalism Day. Whereas Canada is recognized around the world for its rich cultural diversity, and multiculturalism is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian society that strengthens our communities and enriches our collective experience. And whereas people from diverse cultural, ethnic, linguistic, and religious backgrounds have contributed significantly to the growth, prosperity, and vibrancy of our community and our nation. And whereas Canadian Multiculturalism Day provides an opportunity to celebrate the many cultures that make up the fabric of Canada, while promoting inclusion, mutual respect, understanding, and unity among all people. And whereas embracing diversity fosters innovation, strengthens social cohesion, and helps build welcoming communities where everyone has the opportunity to participate fully and reach their potential. And whereas Canadian Multiculturalism Day encourages all Canadians to reflect upon and celebrate the cultural heritage, traditions, and contributions of people from all backgrounds, while reaffirming our commitment to equity, inclusion, and respect for all.
Now therefore, I, Mayor Craig Scott, on behalf of the Town Council of Torbay, do hereby proclaim June 27, 2026 as Canadian Multiculturalism Day in the Town of Torbay. I encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the diverse cultures, traditions, and experiences that contribute to the strength and vitality of our community and continue fostering a welcome and inclusive Torbay for all. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? I think this is awesome. And don't forget to attend our multiculturalism market. When is it?
June 27th.
June 27th.
From noon to 3.
There you go. Didn't want to put you on the spot, but welcome back here. Gert.
Thank you.
All righty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. And next we have a proclamation for National Indigenous Peoples Day. Councillor Goss.
Proclamation for National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, 2026. Whereas the Constitution of Canada recognizes and protects the rights, cultures, and traditions of the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people of Canada. And whereas National Indigenous Peoples Day is celebrated annually on June 21st, coinciding with the summer solstice, a day that holds deep spiritual, cultural, and historical significance for the many indigenous communities across Turtle Island. And whereas this day provides an opportunity for all Canadians to recognize and celebrate the rich heritage, diverse cultures, valuable contributions, and enduring strength of Indigenous peoples. And whereas celebrating National Indigenous Peoples Day encourages learning, understanding, and respect while supporting ongoing efforts towards truth, reconciliation, and meaningful relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. And whereas the town of Torbay is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming community to acknowledge and honor the history, traditions, and contributions of the Indigenous peoples.
Now therefore, I, Craig Scott, Mayor of the town of Torbay, on behalf of council and residents of Torbay, do hereby proclaim June 21st, 2026 as National Indigenous People Day in the town of Torbay and encourage all residents to participate in activities and events that celebrate Indigenous cultures, histories, and contributions. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? I will say that when I was in Edmonton, last week, Sandy?
Last week.
For FCM, they certainly included a lot of Indigenous practices and traditions in FCM as it was going. When they were opening certain events, they would even wait to open the bar, for instance, until after the blessing was done. So it was kind of interesting,
Lots of entertainment too.
but and lots of
And then the
entertainment.
native
Yeah,
Indigenous.
it was very nice to be able to see all that culture take place. So that was pretty nice. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Presentations, we have none. Q&A, we have one. I wrote your name in the wrong place, Robbie.
I think it's on.
Yep.
Move it down. a
Move
little
it down. Okay. June 6th, the East Coast Trail Association had its annual Trail Raiser, and I thought I'd bring you guys some of the results because Torbay was a big supporter of this event. You supported the event, and you also supported our local team, the Torbay Coyotes. So there's still information coming in, still donations. We haven't sorted out all the expenses, but it looks like this year we raised $220,000, roughly double what we've done in previous years. Certainly double what our original goal was, which was
Are you
$100,000.
talking about the entire East Coast Trail or just your team?
Of course it was our team, no. However, the Coyotes, we brought in nearly $19,000,
Wow, nice.
1,800 and 800.
There you go, almost 10%.
Well, that was just pledges. So when I talk about the 220,000, that's including the 50-50 draw, some of the trail, other things that came in, right? But of the pledges, we brought in over 15%
Wow.
of the pledges that came in for that event.
Excellent, good job.
So
Well done.
thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, and we're
Coyotes.
happy to contribute to that because, like we've always said, right, the East Coast Trail passes through our
Yeah.
community. It's there and it attracts people to come here and when they come here, they use our local business, they go to the tap house, they go to the stores, go to the gas station, they go everywhere. So it's a tremendous draw for us and we're delighted to support you guys as you continue to raise money for it.
Okay. I'll be talking to you again next year.
All right, absolutely. We'll write you down on the list. All righty, mayor's report. All right. So first off, I'm just going to go through the birthdays for June. Julia Schwartz, Planning Development, June 25th. Jason Slade, June 28th, in Planning and Development. Ryan Tapper, June 20th. Recreation and Community Services, and Leon Harris, June 26th, Infrastructure and Public Works. Scotty Martin, June 23rd.
Let's go day.
Oh, look, 1981.
Thanks for
What's
giving my
that?
age.
Huh?
Appreciate
That's your
it.
age, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Anyway, happy birthday to you all, and I hope you have great weather so you can get outside and do some stuff. One other thing that I'm going to mention now is I did receive a letter actually, from former Mayor Thorne in the town of Flat Rock, and he asked me to share this with council, so I'll do it now. So Mayor Scott, council staff, I'm ready to show our sincere appreciation for what you have done to keep our father's memory alive. Yesterday, June 10th, I visited the bench that was done for Dad with the plaque stating his years as mayor. This gesture from the town of Torbay is so very much appreciated by our family. Dad was very proud to be mayor in Torbay back in the 80s. He worked very hard to get water and sewer to as many parts of Torbay as possible. He also loved to build up the town's equipment for snow clearing and road work. I remember when a new grader was purchased, he had a pic of him receiving the keys. Back then, there were many unpaved roads in Torbay. His council years must have rubbed off on a couple of us. Rhonda is in her second term on council, and I spent 25 years on the town of Flat Rock Council, 12 years as mayor. He used to tell me, Darren, get off that Jesus council. Didn't you see what I went through? And my reply was, yes, I did. You loved being on council. He said, yes, I did, LOL. So to say that you've touched our hearts with this new bench would be an understatement. Please pass along our sincere appreciation to your council and staff for all they do. Thank you again, Darren. And he has a picture of himself there, sat on the bench with the son under his arm. So, well, I'll forward that to Kim, and she'll forward it on to the rest of the council. But you know, I just want to say that this is a project that Brian's been working on. And I know that I was helping him reach out to some family members of former mayors that they're not easily gotten hold of, I guess. But it's very well received by everybody. And if you get an opportunity when you're walking around on our trails, you see these benches, and they are there, the dedications are on them. And I think that, you know, those are well earned. And, you know, we couldn't do what we do here without the work that those people, not just the mayors, but the councils and the staff at the time, throughout the years, ever since 1972, when they incorporated, you know, to get this town moving forward and put it to where we are today, where we can benefit from the work that they did and move on forward. And, you know, one thing that I've never done since ever I've been here is I've never ever criticized the prior council before us, because I always say they did the best they could with what they had. And, you know, those people back in those days, they did a great job with limited resources. And, you know, we're lucky that they did what they did. All right, with that, that's it for that. Thank you, Darren, for sending that in. And you know, I spent 12 years working with him, 8 years as mayor, and 4 years while I was on council. And Darren was always a pleasure to work with. So he learned something from your father. I don't know how much of a pleasure Wilson was to work with, but Darren was pretty good. Wilson was a bit tangly, so I've been told.
If I might just speak to that too. I was going to wait till the end, but I'm not. Darren had it easy in his terms for the long time he was down there. He didn't sit in this room with a fellow over there looking at you every time you said something. And I can read his mind every time I look at him. Dad absolutely loved council and being on it. And we, as growing up, were warned. It was all landline saying, if that phone rings, I don't give it, blah, blah, blah. If it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, make sure he answers it. And if we didn't, someone had to pay for it. But by having the plaques on the benches of all those persons that shaped this community, for me personally, it fills my heart to know that someone for years to come is going to be walking along that path, and they're going to stop and they're going to read Wilson Thorne. They're going to say his name out loud. It's going to be spoken. It's not just going to be forgotten. It'll be spoken by many more people after I'm long gone. So to me, and Dad is, I'd say he's rolling over in his grave. He's not. He sat up trying to get out of it. Because that would mean so much to Dad. I can't even put it in words. So thank you. And like you said, Brian has been working on this, and when he brought it to my attention, I said, like, each one of those families are feeling the same thing I'm feeling, is pride, and to know their names are going to be spoken long after we're gone. Can't ask for any more than that. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Moving on. Business Arising Report. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Correspondence. We have two correspondence. Both of them are from M&L Info Notes. One is about advocating for municipalities, summer sessions, regional collaboration workshops that are coming up. Have a look through those and see if there's anything in there that interests you. That's the June 4th info note, and there's also one here for June 10th. Looks pretty similar, about summer sessions, so have a look through that and see if there's anything that interests you. All right. So Kim, you look after them, will you? All right, thank you. Committees of Council, Planning, Land Use Development, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Scott. We have motions for direction 1 Quarry Road, BR 2026-004, Mixed Development Land Use Zone, Light Industry Use Masonry Company. The town of Torbay is in receipt of an application proposing to establish a light industry use for construction and storage associated with a masonry company at 1 Quarry Road. The existing commercial building will be used for operating masonry company, and the rear yard would be used for storage and equipment and excess materials. There will be 1 full-time and 2 part-time employees associated with this business. In accordance with Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025, the majority of subject property is located in the mixed land use zone. The proposed light industry use is listed as discretionary use. The majority front-facing portion of the subject property is located within the mixed land use zone of the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025. The proposed light industry use is listed as discretionary in the mixed land use zone. This application was processed in accordance with Regulation 33 and 90 requiring public notification. The notice was mailed to 15 neighboring properties in the area, posted on the town's website, distributed to council members, and to the public via social media in keeping with the Torbay's public notification policies and the Torbay Development Regulations. The advertisement was also posted on 4 conspicuous locations across the town: Canada Post, Lorena's, Torbay Common, and District Drugs. The submission deadline is 12 p.m. Friday, June 19th, 2026. At the time of this report preparation, the town has not received any objections or inquiries to the public notice. In the event the town receives any objections for this development before the submission deadline, the department shall retable this report at the next Planning and Land Use Development Committee meeting of July 8th, 2026 for further review. A background report is provided. Recommendation. The committee reviewed the background report provided and noted that they have no issue with the application and concurred with the department's recommendations for conditional approval pending that no objections are received by the submission deadline. Therefore, the following motion is tabled. Motion to conditionally approve application BR 2026-004 for a proposed light industry use for construction and storage associated with the masonry company at 1 Quarry Road in accordance with Regulation 33 and 90 pertaining to discretionary uses and subject to standard conditions for commercial construction in the Torbay Development Regulations and the requirements of the mixed-use land zone table, and subject to conditions outlined in the background report. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? It's nice that that property is going to be reopened. I know that we spent a lot of time over the last number of years trying to get it cleaned up, and finally that was all done, so it looks a lot nicer there now, and hopefully when this new company goes in there, they'll continue to maintain that property in a nice, clean manner, and as they should. I don't have any other comment. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Our second motion, 75 Quigley's Lane, C 2026-054, residential infill land use zone, accessory building in conservation zone. The town of Torbay is in receipt of an application proposing the construction of a 28 by 28 foot accessory building on 75 Quigley's Lane. The proposed location of the accessory building is at the rear of the subject property, which is located within the conservation land use zone as per the town's municipal plan and development regulations 2015 to 2025. The proposed accessory building does not fall under the permit use or discretionary use classes on the CON land use zone table. In 2017, the town approved an application for construction of an accessory building on the subject property that was within the conservation zone. However, there was no reference to the conservation zone noted in any council reports. The adjacent property has an accessory building located on the conservation land use zone. Review of cadastral mapping of the area shows that the accessory building was constructed at some point between 2001 and 2008. The town did not receive an application for the development of the accessory building, and no permits or approvals were given for the construction. A permit for an extension to the accessory building was given by the town on January 2nd, 2013. A background report is provided. Recommendation. The committee reviewed the report provided and noted that the neighboring properties had accessory buildings and vehicles parked in the conservation zone. The conservation zone had not been protected and has been so developed there is not much of a protected zone left in the area. It was noted that the department should review and see if the area should be rezoned from conservation. Recommendation by Planning and Development Department to PLUD of January 12th, 2026, in consideration of the points outlined in the report, as well as the existing goals, policies, and objectives in effect. The department advises that council's policies currently do not support the issue of a permit, and is forwarding this application to the Planning, Land Use and Development Committee and Council with a recommendation for refusal under the specific considerations of Regulation 91. The recommendation by the PLUD Committee at January 12th meeting was as follows. The committee recommended that this application be reviewed and further discussed at a regular council meeting with the following accompanying motions. Motion 1. Motion to clarify, investigate with
I've got to declare conflict on this.
Sorry?
I said I've got to declare conflict on this one.
Okay.
Because it's on your road, or is it
It's on my
close?
road and I'm close to the family.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that, Councilor Ross.
Okay.
Good. Motion 1. Motion to clarify, investigate with province of Newfoundland and Labrador if the existing conservation zone in effect still is valid and warranted as a conservation zone. And whereas the town will consider applications for accessory buildings on the outside of Quigley's Lane in the vicinity of number 75 Quigley's Lane on a case-by-case basis, given that there are a number of pre-existing structures currently within the conservation zone. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? So this is basically going to the province to ask them if the conservation zone that's outlined there now is still valid? Or is it worth keeping it in conservation?
We will exercise that, we'll have a conversation with the province on it, but there is 2 motions
Yeah, okay.
related to this one.
Yeah, but that's what that one was for.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Motion 2, motion to conditionally approve as proposed application C 2026-054 for the proposed development of a 28-foot by 28-foot accessory building at 75 Quigley's Lane in keeping with the standard requirements for construction of an accessory building in the town of Torbay. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? Question?
So this is to build up their, with the remaining buildings that are already up and in existence, right? Perfect, yep.
Some buildings, like, railroad buildings there, so making it go, bringing it back to the province to find out if it's, conservation zone
I-
is a good thing, because
Right.
if there's already previous other buildings there, then maybe this is not a conservation zone anymore.
So, I think from my reading the reports, what I understand is, strictly speaking, with the regulations that we have, we wouldn't have been able to approve it because of the fact it's in the conservation zone. However, because, I guess precedent setting, other buildings are built in that area, in that zone, that it doesn't appear that over the years it's been maintained as a conservation zone. So we're gonna go back to the province and find out
Yeah.
if we should continue to maintain it, but in the meantime, we're gonna approve this one.
Conditionally.
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 So, that's.
So moved.
Okay, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, thank you.
Welcome back.
All right,
Good.
okay, carry on, thanks.
279 Indian Line, recommendation for an order. The committee reviewed a report regarding complaints received about construction equipment being parked at and a business operating from 279 Indian Line. A review of the town's files indicates that the permits issued on March 12, 2026 required that no regular parking of commercial vehicles except one vehicle with a gross weight of no greater than 1 ton will be permitted on the lot or on the road reservation adjacent to the lot, and all commercial and heavy equipment be removed from the property by May 18th, 2026. There has been no compliance with the town's notice letters to remove all heavy equipment. Recommendation: based on the information provided, the committee concurs with the Planning and Development Department's recommendation to proceed with the issuance of a cease and desist and removal order. Therefore, the following motion is tabled. Motion to issue an order to the property owner of 279 Indian Line to cease and desist business operations and to remove all commercial construction, snow removal, property maintenance equipment from the property in accordance with the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 and the Towns and Local Service District Act 2023 and the Torbay Development Requirements 2015 to 2025. More specifically, Regulations 6, 7, 89, and 90. And the RI Land Use Zone Table, more specifically Conditions 10, E, and I. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Is that good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
125 North Pond Road. Appeal number
Deputy
15.
Mayor, I'm going to declare myself conflict of interest on this one.
Okay.
I got family members in the busing industry.
Okay. Make note of that. Thank you.
Okay. On December 19th, 2023, the town issued an order to the property owner of 125 North Pond Road to remove all commercial vehicles, school bus, off the property in accordance with the requirements of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 and the Towns and Local Service District Act 2023 and the Torbay Development Regulations 2015 to 2025. More specifically, Schedule A, Definitions Regulations 6, 7, 89, and 90. And the RMD Land Use Zone Table, more specifically Conditions 9, E, and I. The property owner of 125 North Pond Road appealed the order, and an appeal hearing was held on April 28, 2026. The adjudicator's decision was received by the town on May 8, 2026. The adjudicator further orders that the decision of the authority requiring the removal of the school bus parked at 12025 Torbay Road, North Pond Road, Torbay, based on a determination that the said parking constitutes development as defined under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 and the Torbay Development Regulations be reversed and struck from the order. The authority is directed to make changes to the order consistent with this decision and to reissue the order to the appellant. Recommendations: the committee reviewed the adjudicator's decision and concurred with the department's recommendation to follow the decision of the adjudicator and rescind the order issued to the property owners of 125 North Pond Road on December 19, 2025, and then reissue the order as recommended by the adjudicator. Motion: to revoke the order issued on December 19, 2025 for 125 North Pond Road and reissue the order requiring the property owner of 125 North Pond Road to remove the commercial vehicle, the school bus, from the property within 14 days of the issuance of the order, knowing only that the parking lot of the bus was in contravention of the town's property standards and maintenance bylaws. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
CBS referral, SJURRPA number 115, 2026, MPA number 42, 2026, DRA number 66, 2026. The town of Torbay is in receipt of a referral by the town of CBS proposing an amendment to the mapping of their municipal plan and development regulations, which requires an associated amendment to the St. John's Urban Regional Plan to ensure the regional plan map corresponds with the proposed amendments. The Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs has requested, as per standard practice, that the town of CBS consult with all municipalities located within the regional plan limits. The town of Conception Bay South and the town of Torbay do not share a municipal planning boundary. Therefore, the amendment lands, Graham Mifflin Drive, are not located anywhere near Torbay. A background report is provided. Recommendation: the committee reviewed the report provided and noted that the proposed amendment does not involve a policy change, nor is it located near the Torbay boundary. However, they noted that the town of Torbay has made numerous inquiries regarding connecting to the regional water supply, but were told that the water supply was at capacity. But this referral is related to opening up rural lands for further service development. Therefore, the following motion is tabled. Motion to advise the town of Conception Bay South that Torbay Town Council reviewed the referral for proposed St. John's Urban Regional Plan Amendment number 115, 2026, and while the proposed regional plan amendment is recognized as an amendment site specific to Graham Mifflin Drive with no proposed policy change, nor proximity to the Torbay municipal boundary, Torbay Town Council notes that the amendment is related to opening up rural lands for further service development, even though Torbay Town Council had been advised that the regional water supply is at capacity. The town of Torbay has made numerous requests to be connected to the regional system, and its municipal supply is at capacity. Torbay Town Council is inquiring as to how this proposed amendment for service expansion can be considered, while Torbay's repeated requests to be included in the regional system have not found support. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? I have a question. So, how have we responded to the referral question? I don't see it in the motion. All I see is us asking a question about the regional water supply. So, are we not responding to their referral? Jason?
Yeah, no, the motion report that I'm looking at did speak to that. We have no objection to it, no different from basically any other original plan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Councilor Pollard had mentioned at committee that he wanted to know, no different from the last referral we got related to the regional plan amendments.
Yeah.
We've included the same statement about the regional water system, I think, on the last three referrals.
Okay, all right. I'm just, so it's in the in the preamble, it's not in the motion. Is that what, that's what I'm asking. So it doesn't have any impact on the town other than the fact that
No.
we, okay. Well, I mean, we're not answering their question. All right?
Yeah, and Jason, I think the intent there is that we really don't need to because it's not within proximity to us, right?
Yeah, we always, when they refer it out to multiple municipalities, we always speak to it if it's something.
If it affects them, yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have any
But the
effect on
draft-
us. We're just putting that
So
question
I
forward.
thought
as
we
we-
always prefaced it with that the town has no objection.
Right. I can include that. It's actually, I got the draft email here for CBS response here, and it does say that.
Okay.
You do have it in the email.
So can we make a friendly amendment to this to say that the, at the top, the motion to advise that the town of Conception Bay South, that Torbay Town Council reviewed the referral for proposed St. John's amendment number, and while we have no objection,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then note all the rest of the stuff here.
Perfect.
Because-
So moved.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it is a regional plan amendment, and it's gonna require us to either say yes or no to it.
Yeah, it's easy, yeah, we can do
Perfect.
that.
Okay. So that doesn't change the nature of the motion, so it's just a friendly amendment. We don't need to vote separately on it. We can just update the.
Vote on the
motion,
amendment,
right?
yeah.
Okay, all right. So, I guess so the question is, I asked to have that little bit added. No objection from anybody?
No.
Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried, thank you. Okay, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, motion to accept the Torbay 2026 permanent listings for the weeks ending June 12th, 2026 as tabled. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you very much.
That's it for me, thank you.
All right, excellent, thank you. All righty, any questions on any of that report? Anybody? Nope, all right. Admin and HR, Counselor Goss.
We met on Tuesday, June 9th in council chambers, myself, Chief Human Resources Officer and Councilor Witten. Most of what we discussed was recruitment and selection. We are pleased to announce that Vera, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Muse?
Muse.
Muse has accepted the role of municipal taxation administrator with our corporate services department on a contractual basis. She'll be reporting to David Pine, the Director of Financial Operations within Corporate Services Department. For the seasonal infrastructure and recreational worker 2 summer position, we are pleased to announce the addition of Devin O'Keefe to the Torbay Common Team. He's accepted a seasonal employment as an infrastructure and recreation worker. I'm not gonna get into their resumes and all of the qualifications they have. The facilities supervisor, we're pleased to announce Mark Reddy has accepted the acting assignment role as facilities supervisor. For the summer day camp and sports camp, we have done all the hiring of individuals for the upcoming summer day camp and sports camp. There's a lot of names here. If anybody is interested in looking through that list, it's on our website within these minutes. Part-time casual recreational services representative in recreational and community services. We are still consulting with the Director of Recreation and Community Services, and are currently in the process of reviewing external applications that were received, and we'll give an update to the council as soon as those are available. The museum interpreters, and the external candidates have been selected for the positions and notified of the final details of their employment. They are confirmed, and a final update will be given once that's completed. Some other items where the Chief Human Resources Officer will be attending an off-site training seminar on Thursday, June 18th, to receive training in the newly updated OHS prime requirements for large-scale employers such as the town of Torbay. This training session will provide an extensive and in-depth overview of all 15 OH and S elements that are required to form part of the town's occupational health and safety program. The next committee meeting is Wednesday, July 5th, and so concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Any questions? I got a comment. It's nice to see those three, camp inclusion coordinator and inclusion attendant and inclusion counselor included in our summer day camp. I think that, we are doing really well in that area, and I think that we're kind of showing the path to everyone else on how to be more inclusive with our camps and with our programming, and I want to congratulate staff on that, and committee and everybody else who's involved, and thank you very much for that. All righty then, corporate services, Councillor Manning. You're up.
All righty. Giggle, giggle. Here we go. Invoices for council approval. Following invoices totaling $353,861.41 is presented for approval. June 1, 2026, Canada Life Employee Group, $17,702.80. May 2026, CIBC pension contributions, $33,383.82. RF 2026-06, City of St. John's, that's the 9/11 service and standby annual fees, $11,409.02. Inglobe Corp, half active transportation study, $6,509.46. Next. Farrell's Excavating Limited, winter sand restock, $13,340.62. GFL Environmental spring cleanup bins, $6,970.62. GFL Environmental monthly garbage collection, $63,932.47. Oh, Stitch. Hickman Cadillac, oh, little pain going on, sorry. Oh. 2026 Chev Silverado 1500 IPW, $81,254.40. McDonnell and Housel Law Offices, land purchase agreement, $12,222.29. Newfoundland Power Incorporated, monthly group billing, $18,071.42. Newfoundland Power Incorporated, street lighting, $20,652.93. Receiver General of Canada, payroll deductions, May 16th to the 31st, 2026, $43,573.20. C Construction, History House basement work, $19,838.36. Torbay Folk Arts Council Incorporated, Summer Concert Series 2026, $5,000. So moved.
Second.
Yeah, get it all into this.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
Just a question as to what land was purchased.
That was,
Corey Roche.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I'll step out now.
Eric, on it?
Yeah, we'll all vote.
the one thing that I'm gonna note in here before we vote on it
Yeah,
is, and we always hear people asking, well, what, I only get my garbage picked up, blah, blah, blah. So, just turning street lights on in the town of Torbay is almost $21,000 a month. So, if you notice a light that's out, that's
Yes.
not lit, please go on to the Newfoundland Power website and report it, because we're paying for the lights if they're on or if they're off. So if you notice one off, please contact them and let them know.
and that's a very easy process to do too.
Rick will go fix it.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna step away for a few
All right.
minutes. Yep, no,
Okay. Emergency Services Fire Department. Emergency Services Fire Department, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, we met on Thursday, June 11th, and we went over the past meeting minutes and discussed outstanding items from that. And we talked about casual and / relief staff. The director had a meeting with the HR and Finance Committee to move this item forward. This will be discussed at Corporate Services next committee meeting and then brought forward to the Committee of the Whole. The update of the RFP for Community Wildfire Prevention and Resiliency Plan. The RFP was posted and closed yesterday, June 10th. It closed on June 10th at 4 p.m. 8 bids were received. The committee reviewed the bids and have chosen Resilient Roots Wildfire Consulting as a recommendation to complete the work. Therefore, the following motion is tabled: that the town of Torbay award the Community Wildfire Resiliency Plan 2026-05-26 to Resiliency Roots Wildlife Consulting in the amount of $24,347.83, excluding taxes, utilizing the funds from the Community Wildlife Prevention and Mitigation Grant. So moved.
Second.
Moved in, seconded. Comments? So they're gonna work on doing up a plan for us for wildfires, is that what it is?
And the town of Flat Rock as well.
And Town Flat Rock, excellent. Excellent. Pardon? No, they're here now, they're staying. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Actually, I will. So the clerk just mentioned to me to mention to those in the gallery who want to leave, you can leave. And I said, no, they're not leaving. We're going to keep them here. But if you want to go, you can go. You don't have to stay for the whole meeting if you don't want to.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, that's fine. No,
Thank you.
no worries.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right. Okay, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, review the general the call volume for the year has been 117 calls. There were, for the budget, there were a couple of items that were showing as over budgeted, but following a review, items were placed under the wrong GL. Things have been rectified, and the only budget item showing over right now is 9/11 services, which is difficult to budget as it's based on the total calls received at the 9/11 center, which portion of those calls are for the TVFD, Torbay Volunteer Fire Department. And Life Preserver at Whiteway Pond. Communications was received from a resident asking about having a life preserver buoy placed at Whiteway Pond. The director will look into and respond back to the resident. And a dry hydrant, director is looking into the dry hydrant option for the Waterman Pond in Flat Rock area, as budgeted by the town of Flat Rock, and will bring forward to the Flat Rock Council once the quotes are received. And the next meeting will be July 9th at 5.
Okay,
That ends my report.
thank you very much. Any questions? All righty. Okay. Lost my hammer. Economic development, tourism, culture, history. Councillor Whitten.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to note, Kim, that the minutes that are attached to our agenda aren't the correct ones. So I'm just going to read from these ones.
I'll update the agenda.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
So we had our meeting on June 10th. Just want to say before we start that we have our Director of Economic Development back, Carrie Murray. We're very happy to have him back. Thank you. If I miss anything, Carrie, let me know. You're back today, but you're up to date. Our economic development, our contract for project management and design of the History House Annex. We have a motion for that, but there is a briefing note attached if you would like to have a look and see how the process went through. So our motion, the Economic Development Committee recommends awarding the project management and design contract for History House to Vigilant Architecture, Inc. of Paradise, Newfoundland, at a cost of $145,187.50, which was the lowest of the 3 submissions to the RFP. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments?
I just want to say that this is, this project doesn't cost the town any of our budget money. It comes from funding and from the contribution from Mr. Galliano, which we haven't touched yet, but this is just for the project management. So I think going forward, it'll be a good project.
Yep. Excellent. Any other comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
We also have some upcoming events. The Multicultural Festival / Market is on June 27th at the History House from 12 to 3. And I believe we have about 25 vendors coming, so it should be a really nice event. Also, the Lower Street Stage, their grand opening, because we've had some funding and some work come from Cal. That's on June 28th, and I believe that's in the afternoon. I don't have the specific time here. And we invite council, the Cal group and staff and others, if you can come, please do. We have participation in Shorefast Place-Based Initiative. We've had discussions ongoing to participate in Shorefast's Place-Based Economic Development Project. They're based in Fogo Island, so we're going to be looking forward to hearing some correspondence from them. Tappers Wharf reconstruction and a mural replacement. We're arranging a meeting with the Torbay Harbour Authority to determine the best way to move forward to replace the mural, because as they're doing work down there now, the lady who initially did the murals, she's later in years at the moment, but we're going to hope to have some younger artists come through and have a look at it and hopefully replace it once they're done. Our marketing communications, the communications plan is developed for a time in Torbay. We hope to ensure maximum exposure and strong ticket sales. It's going to be a good one. Ongoing promotion for our town events is going on. Business case competition was an overwhelming success again this year, held in partnership with Holy Trinity. And myself and Karen, Councillor Goss, and Cameron were there, and we had a ball. They had some really good ideas, and it was a time. They actually put a lot of work into it, and it was, God love them. And we even had treats. One of the young ones came in with sourdough cinnamon rolls and sourdough chocolate chip cookies.
Wow. And
Myself and Cameron ate them. It was really good. Can't wait to go back next year. Our History House, there's school picnics ongoing at the History House. Hopefully the weather's going to keep up and they'll be able to still do them. Mold remediation work on the basement is coming to an end, and cleanup ongoing of the artifacts and things that are stored down there have to be assessed. So there's a process for items also donated by local families for that. The Mannion page on our site will undergo a small design refresh based on the input from users and the Mannions. And that work will be done internally and not sent out. We also have some furniture coming for the genealogy room, and it should be in place by the end of June. And there's also no cost to the town. No cost to the town. Anyway, that is our report, and I don't have my next meeting on here, but it'll be in a couple of weeks in July.
I have one question, Jenny.
Yes.
For the mural in Tappers Cove, is it, you said replaced, will it be updated or replaced altogether?
I think it's actually been,
Yeah, the one that's there is gone.
yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
It's been destroyed, so
It's too bad.
you'd have to go down and have a look and see where the best place would be to be. But
Yeah.
Carrie probably has been there and knows a bit more than I
So
do.
when they started construction,
down there. I went down and took pictures of the mural with the intention that, so they've destroyed most of that wall, that breakwater, and how we can replace it, because that actually tells the history of the community and its fishing heritage with actual former
Photos,
residents and fisher persons on the mural. So I've reached out to the artist. If I don't think she can physically paint it, and it was in remarkable shape. No, it hasn't dulled or anything, but maybe she could mentor some young artists in the community to do it.
Same thing.
And we would make it, then we would also include a storyboard with the history
Oh, nice.
of the fishery in Torbay.
Yep.
So I've reached out to the Harbour Authority, and I'm going to set up a meeting with them and see how we can
Get that
put
done.
it back, not exactly as it was, maybe in a different location on a different medium of some sort, at no cost to the town,
All right.
which is
Thank
our
you.
motto.
It's our motto, no cost to the town.
Everybody's
meeting
taxes are
actually-
canceled.
Our next meeting will be July 9th.
So I just got a
believe.
comment to make about the Shore Fest, harnessing the power of place. So when I was in Edmonton at FCM, the very last speaker on Sunday afternoon from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and I'm talking 3 hours before the Fallen Gala, was Zita Cobb.
Oh.
Talking about and she is the owner of Shore Fest and the Fogo Inn and all these things. And the room was pretty full.
And she was excellent.
Oh,
The
yeah.
room was pretty full
Yeah.
for the last thing of the Sunday afternoon before the conference was ending. And she's remarkable to listen to.
She had a standing.
I'm interested in
Excellent.
seeing what it has to offer and help
Yeah.
us out whatever way it can. So
No, it's excellent.
Yeah.
And,
sad I missed that now.
right, so what she talks about is the power of place, so it's not necessarily a building or whatever, but it's the place where you are and how you build that, and it was a very interesting discussion. And I'll see if I can find some information on it, maybe they might have, FCM might send out something on it, but I'll share it with you, but it's any opportunity that you have to listen to her speak and to take part in any of the workshops she's doing, I would recommend that you do it, because it's,
I believe
it's
this
quite
is-
the experience.
I believe it's by invite only.
So I've been part of that, and I've sat in on several workshops. They're setting up an institute across Canada with different communities, and it's by invitation only. I anticipate we will
Are we
get
invited?
invited.
We'll get Kim to get us invited. Kim knows her.
Any chance of getting that presentation by Zita online?
I'll see, I'll
That'd be
see
great.
what FCM
They
has.
usually record them and provide
That'd be
them.
excellent.
FCM does, yeah. Yeah.
All right, please do.
Forward if I get it.
Thank you.
I can remember almost everything she said after I am Zita Cobb. And then I kind of was just lost in what she was talking about, so. All right, thank you very much. Infrastructure, and Public Works, Councillor Manning.
I'll have another go at it. So committee met on June the 9th. Councillor Martin, Director Winter, and myself. The minutes have been included in the package. Most projects are now ramping up in preparation for the summer season. So our 2025-26 roads project is in process, with all streets now 90 to 95% completed, waiting on asphalt, which is being scheduled later this week or next. So it's been great when you're driving through to see that work being done. Okay, we have a few motions for consideration by council. For our water distribution model project, the town has received a final report and a copy has been provided to committee and council. The budget for the project is $100,000. Current tendered amount is $55,497.05. So, motion to accept the water distribution model report and its recommendations prepared by Inglobe dated April 2026. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. Next motion, motion that council adopt the recommendations contained therein as a guiding framework for future decision-making, and budget planning related to the town's water distribution system and associated infrastructure improvements. No, that's okay, I'll try. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, next is our patch paving project, 2026. The patch paving project was tendered as per normal process. 2 bids were received. After review of the bids, it is recommended that the project be awarded to H&M Paving Limited. So here's the motion. Motion to award the 2026 patch paving project, PP-2026-05-29, to H&M Paving Limited in the amount of $4.25 per square foot for cut and patch, and $4 per square foot for grind and patch. This is within our budgeted amount for the proposed projects. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Now, our line painting and curb sweeping project, 2026. The line painting and curb sweeping project was tendered as per normal process, received 4 bids. After review of the bids, it is recommended that the project be awarded to Clean Sweep Property Maintenance. Motion to award the 2026 line painting and curb sweeping project, 2026 LPCS 2026-05-08 to Clean Sweep Property Maintenance in the amount of $21,250 plus HST. This is within our budgeted amount for the projects. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
So now I'm going to, because of my day job and conflict of interest,
Hand this over to Councilor Martin.
Councillor Martin. Oh, step away.
It's our stormwater mitigation project, 2020-2023. The sites being worked on are Whiteaways Pond Brook on Country Drive and the Gully River crossing. Project was tendered with 7 bids being received. Attached is the recommendation from Agathena. Sorry if I butchered your name. The project has already been approved to award by the province. Motion that the Stormwater Mitigation Project 17 MYCW 22-00067 be awarded to Dexter Construction in the amount of $1,329,947.86, HST inclusive. This amount, together with the associated consulting fees, keeps the total project cost within the approved budget. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, Ron.
Is there anything else there? No other motions? You're good?
That was the end of the motions, yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. Anything else that you were gonna talk to about other that multi-year stuff, Councilor Martin?
No.
Okay. And we're good?
So
Thank you.
ends.
All right, thank you very much. Recreation and Community Services, Councilor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. So we talked about the fall programs and events. We reviewed a draft program and event plan for the fall. We're going to chat about it again at our next meeting. And registration for fall programs and events will open August 12th for residents and then August 19th to the general public. Summer program and events, registration still ongoing for programs and events, including summer camp. Still spots remaining in 4 weeks of Camp T and all 8 weeks of sports camp, which is surprising. Registration for sports camp is low, and the committee discussed potential changes for summer camps in 2027. Good discussion around budget time. Facility rentals, we reviewed the facility rental revenue year-to-date and reviewed what area the revenue was coming from. We talked in length about the soccer field and how it was sodded in the fall, hydro-seeded in the fall and spring. It was limed and fertilized. Despite all this, there's still several areas of concern on the field which pose a safety hazard. As a result, minor soccer has been forced to cancel hosting under 15 provincial tournaments and also under 15 metro games, as we will not be able to use the full field. Director is looking into the possibility of using Juniper Ridge Field to help some of the practice groups, which will alleviate some of the stress and overuse that a grass field is not built to withstand. The soccer program was scheduled to start May 21st, could not due to the condition of the field, and will now start June 15th. Director has quotes to replace the netting on the soccer field to the original 24 feet that has always been there, or to increase it to 30 feet, which is 6 feet higher. And this is reference to an incident which happened in the Killicoast games. And Director's going to bring it to our next committee meeting for discussion. Outdoor sites, she gave an update on the committee and update on all the sites. There was damage done to the fence on the junior softball field due to the snow weight this winter. It'll need to be repaired before minor softball can start. And there continues to be a drainage issue on the junior field. In the left field corner results with sand and debris ending up in the basketball court, the tennis court below. And the director's going to look into a temporary solution for this for the summer. The History House, which is touched on by Councillor Whitten. The only work left to be completed by SEA Contracting on site is the electrical, which has been held up due to the town not receiving the permit from Service NL, and they have a backlog due to short staffing. The community garden, all garden beds and the storage container from the old Holy Trinity Lane garden have been moved to Torbay Common, and the greenhouse has not been moved yet. The director is waiting on quotes. It has been moved with a broom truck. The Inclusion and Advisory Committee, the next event offered by this committee is going to be Wednesday, June 17th, 6:30 to 8:30, here at the fire hall, with a fire hall tour and a barbecue. And the event is for all ages, and if anyone needs any more information, they can email recreation@torbay.ca or call Torbay Common 437-6555. And then we had a great chat about the email we received about Play On and a 2027 event. So we discussed the potential of hosting this in 2027 and agreed it's a fantastic opportunity. It'd be a big undertaking, require some staff and significant budget implications. So the committee requested the director go back to the event organizers, ask for more information regarding the cost to host and obligation if selected as the host once an expression of interest is submitted. And we also felt in order to host something like this, it would have to be a regional approach to involve other communities within the Killy Coast. And our next committee meeting is going to be July 7th. That ends. Oh, any questions?
All right. Any questions? Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Alrighty. Liaison committees, Mayor's Congress. I was supposed to go there, I think, this week, but it got rescheduled till September. So I won't have any update on that till September. Intergovernmental Affairs. I don't think we've received any additional information from the department regarding our exclusion or drop from the multi-year capital works program. Through my role with M&L, I'm working on that, but I also had a conversation with MHA Wall, asked him to bring that to Minister Petton to see if I could get a meeting with him just to talk about the town of Torbay and our problem with being removed from that program. So see how that goes. Jack Byrne. Councillor Goss, any update? I saw an update in the paper.
We have a meeting tomorrow night,
Okay,
but nothing since.
all right, okay, thank you.
No meeting since.
Northeast Avalanche Joint Council, we got something on the go this week with them?
The barbecue.
Yes, so there's a barbecue meeting.
Yep.
My kind of meeting. So we'll see how that goes. Sure it'll be fine. And Urban Municipalities Committee meeting will not, they'll meet in August 28th, 29th, something like that, in Bay Roberts. So other than that, there's no real updates. We have no notice of motion We have new businesses. Councillor Manning.
I had two thank yous. I said the first one at the beginning. I'm not going to get into that again. But the other one was, and it's on everyone's mind, thank you to the fire department and fire departments around for doing the job they did last night and taking on that massive fire and such seriousness. And sadly, we had to see them in motion working, and need to say the least thing I could say is, anyone want to see the training and the service that we have here under our fire department and those around us, top notch. So thank you to all, each and every one that went out there and did what they had to do last night. That's it.
Excellent. What am I doing here? Councillor Goss.
I just wanted to thank the town staff and council and Minister Wall, who all attended the renaming of the street from Kennedy Drive to Ward Goss. It was a beautiful ceremony. It was so well done. It was a really nice turnout, and I have had nothing but positive feedback from anybody who reached out. So thank you to everybody who took part in that, in organizing it, and just attended. It meant a lot to myself and my family. Thank you.
Yep. Well, the two of you guys talked about everything I was going to talk about, but you know what? I echo your sentiment about the renaming of the road. It was nice to see so many people come in from Bay Roberts and your family and Ward's family and the mayor and people that knew him. So, that speaks volumes. So that's the last time I'm ever going to talk about it, I promise you. But it was a great event, and it was well deserved, and I'm happy that we finally were able to get it done. As I always do, I want to thank our staff for all the work that you put in over the last number of weeks since we had our last meeting, and doing the business of the people and keeping council updated or in line or whatever it is that we need at some certain points, but thank you for doing that. I also want to point out that, our fire department did a great job last night or yesterday on that fire in Forest Landing. And the pictures, I wasn't in there, I didn't go near there, I had no intention of parking my car on the side of the road and blocking fire trucks like people were doing. Please do not do that. Our vehicles need to be able to get in and out of these areas as quickly as possible, unencumbered, to be able, for their own safety and for the safety of the people living in that neighborhood. So, it was kind of disappointing a little bit to see so many vehicles parked around and complaints that vehicles couldn't move freely. Please don't do that. I know everybody's interested and they're worried about their neighborhood and everything like that, but the best place to be when something goes that is your car in your own driveway, not parked alongside the road. And I hated to add in that little bit of negativity on this because I wanted to be positive, and I will. I saw some people asking about hydrants in Forest Landing. For those of us who live in areas of Torbay that are not on water and sewer, we do not have fire hydrants along our road, which is why these vehicles are traveling back and forth. However, when we do order our fire trucks and our equipment, we take that into account, that we know we don't have fire hydrants everywhere, and we get trucks with additional capacity for water. Our tanker was well used yesterday, and it's one of the, I think, the best purchases that we've ever made for a town that doesn't have hydrants everywhere. I know that we're looking at getting another one. I know that Portugal St. Phillips now are looking at getting one as well. So our mutual aid agreements with Portugal St. Phillips and Puchco come in handy at times like this, at any time. They were there yesterday to assist in bringing water to the site. So, and I'm pretty confident that I could say this because I talked to Ray today, but there was no delay in water for availability for our truck to be able to fight that fire, right, Chief? So the amount of water we were bringing in there was sufficient enough to keep the water to the fire, let's say. And thank you to Pooch Cove and Portugal St. Phillips for assisting in that, as well as our public works staff who were in there helping and today with excavators or whatever else that we needed. So it's, yes, the fire department is the ones primarily responsible for taking on those instances, but the rest of the staff here at the town are also here to support the fire department and to give them whatever it is that they need to be able to do their job. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that was involved in that. And please pass that along, Chief, to the, I don't know whether to call you Chief or Director. Director Chief. Director General. No, so anyway, pass that along to them, please. And I know that they know that I appreciate what they do, but it's still nice to hear it every now and then. And thank you to our residents who come to our meeting to sit there and listen to us and get up and ask questions and do that. And can you not hear me? I felt I was getting a little bit of feedback earlier when we were doing that. It was hard on my ears, but okay. So I'll work harder on that, Miss Lacy. Everybody. I will. So thank you, everybody, and Q&A. Don't fight over it.
We are getting close to the time of year last year where we first saw some concern about water levels. So I would like to know what the water levels are like at North Pond right now, and what the usage has been like, well, up until last night, I guess, compared to last year, because I'm told that the ground is still dry in spite of all the snow we had. And secondly, I noticed in the minutes that you have some draft guidelines for conservation that are on the way. I think we need them pretty quickly if we're going to have an impact this year. But is this something that has to come to council to be approved? Because there's no meeting for another month. So are we looking at draft conservation guidelines that would only be approved perhaps possibly in July? Or anyways, that's my question.
I'm not sure about draft guidelines for conservation. Do you know anything about that? I'm not sure what you're referencing. Are you talking about how we're going to the province now to get
Sorry?
clarification? I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
with
the
piece.
conservation guidelines. So in the minutes, it says that Brian has been looking at what the city of St. John's is doing, for example, in terms of conservation for people, for residentials.
Water conservation. I thought
Water
you were talking
conservation,
about,
yes, sorry.
I thought you were talking about
Okay.
land conservation.
Yeah.
So, yes. So we have our own conservation things that we do now, that we did last year, that we advise people not to water.
They're not enforced as far as I know.
Well, we put it out there for people to.
Last year
and always for people not to be overusing the water.
So that's still in force?
It always has been.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when we took the water ban off last year in January, yes, I don't know that we got any on now. So he's looking, I think, to St. John's to see what it is that they do.
Yeah.
St. John's has a constant conservation order
Yeah.
on forever. And so we're looking at things that we can do. And in terms of the water levels, unfortunately Brian's not here, but just by looking at the pond, I could tell it's up a lot more now this year than it was this time last year.
As well, still going over the dam?
Well, no, I don't think it's still going over
No.
the dam right now, but it's down 4 inches. Down 4 inches.
It's what?
4 inches down.
Okay.
Which is really not that
Yeah.
big a deal, really.
Good. Okay. Well, let's hope it stays that way.
So to your point, though, I think that I'll get Sandy to talk to Brian about developing some messaging from the town about conservation in no matter what, if the pond is spilling over or whatever. I mean, people still need to realize that water is not an endless commodity. And we don't want to go through what we went through last year. So, you know, and also I think we should develop some messaging for people that are on wells to advise them of making sure you get your well tested, making sure that you know, you're conserving your water. Because for people on wells, until the well goes dry, a lot of times they're never going to be aware of it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, it would be simple to perhaps had something in the flood minutes or the public works minutes. Every time you have a meeting, just a little blurb about where the levels are and what the
Yeah.
usage is. I think 'cause that's where I was looking for it.
I think that's a good idea, but I think it's more important that we
Yeah.
take that information and we put it out to the public, because I don't know, I'm not sure how many people actually go and look at our minutes. I don't know.
Whatever.
Everybody's not as diligent as you are.
Okay.
Ms. Lacy?
Patricia Lacey, for those who don't know me. Just a question, which I didn't hear the answer clearly. The parcel of land that the town purchased, did you say where it was, or?
It was up off of Quigley's Lane? Quarry Lane.
Quarry.
It was
Oh,
off Quarry Lane.
Quarry Lane, okay,
And
yeah.
what's the name of that road that goes up there?
Eller's Place.
What?
Ellard Place.
Yeah.
Gotcha, just for clarification.
Yep,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Any other questions? Anybody? Ms. O'Reilly?
Anne O'Reilly, I'm in Torbay. 50 years this year, and this is my first time to a meeting. I should be ashamed of myself. I'm here to request someone to do something about the dirt bikes on Quarry Road in Torbay. They go in, speeding. They come out sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, the same thing. There's a daycare right across from me. Those kids are in there all year round. Some of them are runners when they come out. And I'd like something to be done about that. I've called the police. They say they can't do anything because there aren't any numbers on their bikes.
Yeah, I mean, we get the same, Sandy's in contact with the RNC all the time. And I thought I saw something the other day that they put out a new reporting tool that people can use to report different types of activities in the town. Dirt bikes is one that we're contacting the RNC about. They're the only ones ultimately at the end of the day that can do any kind of enforcement. From a town perspective, we put out information to residents about making sure that and I hate to say this, but it's the case that mostly it's younger children, kids that are on these dirt bikes that are whipping up and down the road.
They don't live on Quarry Road.
No.
One particular guy came from North Pond Road, all decked out in a green and white from head to toe. The bike was the same match, green and white. And he lipped me when I went after him. He told me he had permission to do that.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't for
Yeah.
laws.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to contact
what you
the
can.
RNC and
Please.
do what we can.
I mean,
It's a very difficult situation for us to be able to deal with.
Yeah.
I am in regular contact with them. This is an ongoing issue, not only in Torbay, but right across the province, actually.
I understand.
And the
Yeah.
RNC are very, very aware of it. But we are in regular contact with them. There's also the issue of drag racing that's going on as well. So
We
those
don't get
issues
that
are up on a regular
We
basis.
don't get that on Quarry.
Yeah. And it is
But we do
difficult for
get
the
the
police
bikes.
because they can't be in all places altogether. But they have done a couple of blitzes down here where they have actually caught some of these people. The problem truly is with the parents, right?
Well, that's right. They give them
That's
the bikes.
where I believe,
and
because the
they're
parents
out of
are-
and then they're out of their hair.
Yeah, and they're buying these machines
Yeah.
for them, and they're just
Yeah.
letting them go unsupervised. So we're also trying to always get messaging out. If the RNC gets messaging out, we'll help them with that as well. So we're doing everything we can.
Well, thank you.
Is the short answer.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming for the meeting. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So there's no one else left besides Robbie, and she already had her chance to speak, so we'll shut her down now. So our next public council meeting is scheduled to take place on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, 5 o'clock here in council chambers at Torbay Town Hall. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Moved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you very much.
Yes.